The AFE Magnum Force Stage 2 Pro 5R intake should appeal to the 2015 through 2017 EcoBoost owners out there looking for a premium intake to help deliver more power, more sound, and better throttle response by increasing airflow up to nearly 70% over your factory airbox. The Pro 5R will certainly not be the cheapest option in the category at nearly $500, but will offer an extremely nice build and components in return. Simple bolt-on installation here, guys, is gonna get a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter from me, and I will talk a little bit more about that later in the video. So Advanced Flow Engineering, or AFE for short, is one of those companies out there that really continues to raise the bar when it comes to designing and building parts for the truck aftermarket, along with other applications as well. And as the name suggests, they really specialize in things that flow. So obviously intakes like we have here, but also downpipes, exhaust systems, and intercoolers as well. And all of their stuff, by the way, is very well built and built right here in the USA. And one of the things I really do enjoy about AFE as a company is that they don't just build one system and basically say take it or leave it. Instead, it's quite the opposite. Now, in fact, they have up to 4 to 5 different intakes currently on the site available for the EcoBoost platform. The Pro 5R, which we have right here, the Pro Dry S, which is basically gonna be the same intake, but with a dry filter in place of the oiled filter that we have here. They also have their Momentum GT, both with an oiled and dry filter. And then last but not least, their Momentum XP. So obviously a lot to choose from when it does come time to talk about the AFE lineup. But let's focus in on the Stage 2 Pro 5R here, and the unique feature with this particular intake compared to some other options from AFE will be the dual 3.5-inch mandrel bent equal length aluminum tubing connected by the H-pipe right smack in the middle here. Now, most of your other options in the category will typically merge these two pipes to create one large singular intake tube, but AFE has kept them separate here with this particular option. Now, the two large tubes are then finished off with a wrinkle black powder coat. I think it's a really nice finish and should flow nicely in the engine bay. This is also the only intake from AFE that will deliver 2 slightly smaller 7-inch filters as opposed to one larger filter. Again, these are gonna be the reusable oil filters, meaning clean them, re-oil them, and they're gonna be good to go. But as I did just mention, if you had your heart set on a dry filter instead, AFE does have an option on the site that you can grab. It'll actually be about $50 less compared to the oiled option that we currently have on the table. Altogether, AFE claims their Stage 2 Pro 5R will boost airflow to your EcoBoost power plant by 67% when compared to your factory airbox. So obviously that should result in a nice little bump in power, but also increased throttle response as well. Now, AFE doesn't give any exact numbers here in regards to power gain, but judging by our customer reviews on this particular option, the old butt dyno is measuring some pretty solid gains when installed. So don't take my word for it. Feel free to read up on some of those customer reviews if you haven't already done so. Another thing to point out is that because these twin 7-inch filters won't be in a sealed airbox or enclosure, be prepared to hear a little bit more engine noise once the AFE system has been installed. Engine noise like we just said, but maybe also a little bit more turbo noise, things like that. Now, if you don't want to hear this stuff, you prefer to keep things as quiet as possible, I would recommend either picking up the intake cover on the site. It's gonna be about 40 to 50 bucks extra and actually covers the enclosure here, or you can check out one of the sealed enclosures from AFE instead. But let's switch our focus over to the installation briefly, as I mentioned up top, and this one is gonna be very easy, guys. 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter is typically what you can expect with any cold air install, and about a 30-minute to an hour job depending on how quick you like to work. Tool-wise, AFE claims this thing can be done using nothing more than an 8mm socket and wrench along with a flathead screwdriver. So very, very basic stuff here. Getting started, you'll need to disconnect the factory map sensor and loosen the clamps using your 8mm socket. Unclip the top portion of your factory airbox and remove the factory intake and filter in one piece. Now you can install the AFE housing and filters into the lower portion of your factory airbox. Swap over that map sensor and install the intake tubes, tightening up the clamps as you go. Connect the map sensor and your installation is complete. Wrapping this one up, the AFE Stage 2 Pro 5R Cold Air might be the longest name in the category, but in all seriousness, is an extremely well-made system that fits and looks great. You can check one out for your EcoBoost right here at AmericanTrucks.com.